It has never been more accessible than in 2025 for someone to go from zero to making movie-style content. What's going on, guys? My name is Gavin and I am a professional videographer and a Division I runner, and today I'm going to show you exactly what gear you need to buy if you want to start making money as a content creator or a videographer and not break the bank in the process. So if you're just starting out and you want to go full-time as a videographer or content creator, or you just want to capture more cinematic content for your social media, this video is for you. Today I'm going to share with you the only 5 pieces of gear that you need to buy in order to keep up with the best content creators in the game right now. And all of this gear will fit into almost any budget. The first piece of gear that you're going to want to focus on, and the one that you're going to want to allocate the most amount of your budget to, is obviously the camera. Now, as a professional videographer, I shoot on a Sony a7S III, and I love Sony, so that's going to be most of what I'm going to be recommending to you. However, I didn't start with Sony. I actually started with a Canon SL2, which is a much cheaper option. It was actually a graduation gift that I got, and I was able to generate over $10,000 with just that camera and the kit lens that came with it. And just to give you reference, I think at the time the entire kit was about $400. Now I shoot on something that is about $4,500. However, there are plenty of cameras out there that can shoot close to what the quality of this camera is for a fraction of the price. There's really 3 cameras that I would suggest, all in a little bit different price ranges. The first 2 are pretty similar in price, but preferences are going to be different for the 2. So the first one I'm going to start with is the Sony ZV-1. This has grown in popularity as one of the best vlogging cameras and content creator cameras. It comes in at around $750, super low profile, and that paired with the 24 to 70 millimeter lens gives you a wide range of focal length to be able to shoot really wide shots like this and more close-up shots. This camera is a beast and perfect for run and gun, daily shooting, or something more formal like what I'm shooting right now. The second one is the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now, this camera also is wildly popular, and the funny thing is I'm seeing more and more professional videographers, people that are even way better than I am, using the DJI Osmo Pocket to film their YouTube videos because it's so convenient and it still produces an incredible quality. Now, this is a tiny camera that comes on a little gimbal from DJI, which is a fantastic company in the videography space. They make drones, but they also have branched out and make a ton of different awesome pieces of camera gear as well. And the cool thing about this one is it's even smaller than the Sony ZV-E1, and it's on its very own gimbal. And so you can run with this thing, you can vlog with this thing, and it's always gonna have nice and steady shots, as well as you can get it with a tripod, a built-in tripod, so you can set it on things. It makes vlogging and filming your life very easy. And this one is just a little bit more expensive, coming in at around $799. Now, the last recommendation is the Sony FX30, which I personally would pair with a Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens. This altogether would be around $2,200 to $2,300. So obviously it's gonna be on the much more expensive end. It's gonna be more of a full frame, professional style camera. It's actually technically a cinema camera. It is probably the best entry level professional camera that you can buy. Now, moving on to probably the second most important thing to focus on, and that is audio. Oftentimes, a video is only as good as its audio. We've all watched videos that we immediately click off of, sometimes not even knowing why, and oftentimes it's because the audio isn't good. YouTube is a great example of this. It will actually reduce the video quality before it reduces the audio quality, because it's found that it loses more viewers when it reduces the audio quality versus the video quality. But good sound design and audio is one of the biggest things that beginners miss when they start making content. They think it's all about the video and they neglect getting great audio. However, it has never been easier to get incredible sounding audio. The number one microphone that I'm going to recommend after trying a handful of them is going to be the DJI Mic Mini 2. These are fairly new microphones. It's what I'm actually recording this on right now. They come in this tiny little charging case right here. There's two of them. You can either record directly to your phone, or you can record directly to a camera, and there's no wires on the actual microphones. You either clip it or there's a little magnet that you can attach it. I'm using these for weddings. I'm using these for professional interviews. I'm using this for capturing sound design in my YouTube videos and my personal content. A lot of times I'll either put it on my shirt or I'll even clip it onto my watch band to catch the sounds of what's going on. Makes your videos way more engaging. And the best part about these, in my opinion, is they're only $169, and they're a lot smaller than some of those dorky big wireless microphones that other content creators are wearing. Now, there's two other options that are very popular in the space, the DJI Mic 2s that are about $350. It's a great option. They're gonna be a little bit more capable than the DJI Mic Minis. And then their competitors, the Rode Wireless Mic Go 2s, they come in between $250 and $299, depending on what the sale is. But a lot of people love those mics as well. But just trust me, get the DJI Mic Minis, they're the best. Now, one of my favorite pieces of camera gear, and it used to be that only the top creators were able to afford them, and now just about anybody can have one, and it is a drone. DJI is going to be the king of consumer drones. And on their website, they actually walk you through finding the best drone based on your interests and what you're looking for. And you can compare all their different drones. They have some that are more geared toward vlogging, where you just put the drone up and it'll follow you around. They have lighter weight drones that you don't have to register with the FAA. They have heavier, more cinematic drones. They have drones all the way from about $200 or $300 up to their most expensive top-end drones that are over 10,000. Personally, I just upgraded to the DJI Air 3S, and it has been a fantastic drone for shooting really cinematic shots. Before that, I had a couple of DJI Mini 3 Pros, which are great and super lightweight cinematic drones. My recommendation, go on that website, do a little bit of research, and you can pretty easily find which drone's gonna work for you. Now, you don't have to have a drone when you're starting out, but it's one of those things that it used to be something that was kind of special and new, and now it's almost a standard in the industry. If you're not having drone shots, you're getting left behind a little bit. So that's why I put drones on this list, is because they've never been more accessible, and they're becoming a standard in the world of, definitely in the world of professional videography, but then also in the world of social media content creation and any other type of content creation. Being able to capture those angles is just something that you're not going to be able to do with anything else. And they're a ton of fun to fly. So even if you're just getting into it recreationally, drones are the best. Now onto some of the less exciting but just as important pieces of gear that are going to allow you and your content to stand out from the rest. The first one being tripods. Everyone that's tried to film themselves knows the struggle of trying to figure out where to put the camera so that they can get the shot that they need. And if you have a good tripod, that problem doesn't happen. Now, the king of tripods really in the world of videography is going to be a company called Manfrotto. They're also going to be some of the higher end tripods. So if you can afford it, there's a tripod called the Manfrotto 502AH, but it's a little over $400. Another company that I have used their products before and that I love is called SmallRig, and they have a tripod called the AD01 that is a great high quality tripod that only is about $160. And just so you know, I will include links to all of these different products down below so that you can go and look at them yourself. Now, one of the most famous small tripods for everyday vloggers and content creators is going to be the Joby GorillaPod 3K. It's a little flexible mini tripod. This is fantastic for run and gun if you're filming on your phone, or if you have one of those small cameras and you need this tripod to kind of bend over things to put it into place. It's a fantastic tripod. 70 bucks, super easy pickup. It's something you should probably have whether you have a main tripod or not. And honestly, that being said, there's a million different tripods out there, and the only thing that you're gonna want to make sure that you look out for is just general build quality. Getting a really cheap tripod isn't gonna be great because you're gonna be putting an expensive camera on it. The thing to look for is to get a fluid head tripod. That's something that allows videographers to pan and tilt and get different shots that's very smooth, and it's not sticky like another tripod would be. Lastly is lighting. Lighting, again, kind of like audio, wildly overlooked, but it's gonna be what takes your content to the next level. Much like Manfrotto is the king of the tripod world, Amaran seems to be the king of the videography lighting space. And their Aputure Amaran is a cheaper version of their higher quality lights. And so you're getting a light from a really reliable, trustworthy, awesome lighting company, but not quite at the same price as those professional lights are. Personally, I use the Aputure Amaran 100XS. These lights are going to be anywhere from about $250 to $350, and you're going to want to make sure to pick up a softbox for these lights as well so that you can diffuse it and make that light look a lot better on your subjects when you're filming. Amaran actually has a mini light dome that I've been using. I also have a light dome from Godox that I really like. These are going to be about $100. And lastly, you're going to need something to hold your lights, and you can use a tripod for that, but the most popular way to hold lights is going to be something called a C-stand. And C-stands are one of the most versatile pieces of camera equipment that you can possibly get. I honestly could probably put them in a separate category of things that you need to buy. These are also going to come in at around $100. So obviously I was fairly vague in some of my recommendations here, but this is really going to give you a handful of different options based on where you're at and what budget you have. So looking at these recommendations, depending on what you decide to get, I tried to leave options for a fairly wide variety of different budgets and different levels of creators. And on the higher end, it's going to be about $4,000, and it could be as low as $1,500. So obviously the gear that I recommended is somewhat of a wide range depending on different budgets or styles or preferences, but this proves that you can get all of the gear that you need to start making money as a professional videographer, or just create some of the highest quality content on the internet for around $1,500 to $4,000, which when you look at the earning potential of creating amazing content is crazy. The return on investment in some of this gear can be, if you use it correctly, extremely high. And one of the coolest parts about this is a lot of this gear is actually going down in price. Like I said before, entry-level drones used to be $1,000, now they're $200 or $300. Entry-level lavalier microphones used to be $300 or $400. Now you can get some for $150. Now, obviously, some things are getting more and more expensive, but a lot of this gear is getting better and more efficient, and these companies are figuring out how to create just as quality of gear at cheaper prices. So it really has never been more accessible for someone to go from zero to making really cinematic content. And as a professional videographer, I see it all the time where people obsess over gear and they buy gear that they don't need. And I'm here to tell you that you can make a lot of money with gear that isn't the most expensive. You have to know what to buy, but these recommendations today, I promise you, can help you create some incredible content that can make you 10, 15, 20 times what you paid for it. I know that because I've done it myself. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know what pieces of gear I maybe missed or what pieces of gear that you prefer. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.